Hello everyone, I hope you are doing really well. I'm Zahra from Model MM14. We are in teacher practice area, and in this video I want to show you how I can add some activities to my topic. Let's go to my topic first. As you see, I have already added some resources. Now I want to add some activities. I should turn the editing option on so that the list of activities will be available to me. Here I should click on this plus part, add an activity or resource. As you see, there are some activities, assignments, big blue button, booking, chat, checklist, choice, custom certificate, database, e-voting, external tools, fair allocation, feedback, forum, and some games, glossary, group choice, group formation, group self-selection, a hot question, hot potatoes, interactive content, internal lesson, media, and so on and so forth. Up to the end, you can see a lot of these, including, for example, Wiz IQ, workshops, and Zoom meetings. Let's just try to add feedback. As you see, it says that the description mentions that the feedback activity module enables a teacher to create a custom survey for collecting feedback from participants using a variety of question types, including multiple choice, yes, no, or text input. Let's see how we can work with it. Okay, now it's added, and I should add the name. Let's call it survey 1. There's some place for description. It's optional. Availability, we can make some changes on the website. I want it to be available from today, and if I want to set a deadline, I should enable this one as well. Otherwise, we do not need to activate it. But now that I've enabled it, let's set a deadline for them as well. Okay, the participants have 20 days time. Questions and submission settings. I can adjust and set whether people can answer as anonymous people or user's name will be liked and shown with answers. Okay, allowing multiple submission. No, I'm not gonna allow them to submit several times. Enable notifications of submission. Well, yes, let's enable the notification. Auto number question. No, I would like to adjust the number on my own. And after submission, what appears after submission? Show analysis page. No. Oops. Yes, let's have analysis page as well. Completion message, I can say thanks for your participation. Okay, and link to next activity. We can create a link to that, to the next activity, or leave it as it is. Common module settings. In this part, we can talk about the availability and adjust the availability of the survey to be shown on the course page or hide from students. I want it to be shown. I don't have any grouping and an ID number. I may want to restrict the participants to do a particular activity, then this activity will be available to them. In that case, I should add restriction, go to activity completion, select one activity, and at least one activity, and then the participants will not be able to answer this question or enter this survey before doing that activity. But since I haven't set any activity and this is related to another participant, another area, I cannot force people to go to any other topic area and do something and then come back for this survey. So let's just delete this part. After I add some other activities, I can come here and select them as restriction. Activity completion. I can also adjust whether the activity completion can be based on students can manually mark the activity as completed, or do not indicate activity completion, or show activity as completed when conditions are met. Yes, I would prefer this one. Require view. Students must view this activity to complete it. No, it's not just viewing it, it's just doing something. Viewing is not enough, of course. Expected completion on, as I mentioned, it's on May 31st. I can also add some tag and add some competencies here as well. Okay, let's save it and return to the course. Good. Oops, I'm not sure why it duplicates some of the resources and activities. Okay, let's delete the extra one. Now we've got one survey. Let's enter to see how we can add some sources. Answer the questions. There is no questions here yet. We need to add some questions. Analysis. Of course, again, there is no submitted answer, there is no question here so that we can analyze. Show responses. Again, there's no responses. Show non-respondents. Good. People who are not respondent but are available. Okay. Can send messages from this part to them. Okay. And let's go again to this part, to the editing part, to see if we can find the place in which we can add some questions, because there are different question formats, but I cannot see this part activated. In fact, I used to design some surveys and some feedback activity in other models, in that there was another tab here in which I could add some questions with different formats and set some different conditions for them. I'm not sure why this is not available for me, but this is the feedback activity. Now let's go to the other activity. For instance, if I want to hold a video conference, let's say a Zoom meeting, I can add it to the topic. Oops, unable to find your account on Zoom. Okay, let's go back and add another video conferencing activities. For example, big blue button with IQ or Skype. Let's go to Skype and see how it works. Okay, Skype name. Let's call it a live session. We can add some description, Custom example field set. Yeah, the time can be set here today, and the time here is okay. Common module settings. Again, the availability, the ID number, restrict action. Again, if we want to add some restriction and activity, completion. Students can manually students can manually mark the activity as completed and expected completion. In fact, it is today. If the time is set as today, the activity completion is also today. Okay, let's save changes and come back to the course. Again, it's duplicating the activities. Okay, I deleted the extra one. Now you see that we've got one survey, one live session, Skype session, and also let's go to database to see how database can be helpful as an activity. The database activity module enables participants to create, maintain, and search a collection of entries like records. The structure of the entries is defined by the teacher as a number of fields. Field types include checkbox, radio buttons, drop-down menu, text area, URL, pictures, and uploaded files, and you can read the description up to the end to see how this activity can help us. The name of the activity, let's call it file cabinet, and see other conditions, the description, the entries. We can adjust whether or not the approval is required and allow editing of approved entries, allow comments on entries. Yes, let's allow comment on entries. Allow editing of approved. Okay, it doesn't allow me. And the maximum number of entries, let's adjust it as 10, and also availability, RSS, grades, rating, common module setting, etc. can be all adjusted. Let's save and return to course. Okay, again, we've got this problem of duplicating. Let's delete the extra and, okay, file cabinet. Let's enter it to see what we can see. Good. No entries in database. View single, search, add entry, export. View single. Since there is no entry here, we cannot find any information here, but for search, yes, entries per page 10 can sort by time added or in an ascending or descending manner. Add an entry. In order to add an entry, we should save, more information about this error. There are no fields defined for this database. Okay, so previously I should first of all have some defined fields. Here I cannot see any. So let's go to export. How we can export something. Okay, so since there are not yet any field defined for this database, there's nothing to export. Well, let's go back. I think it's in